Hello, in our last session, we looked at the English Language Enhancement Program for classes 4, 5 and 6. Now we are going to look at the progression into grammatical structures and other forms of communication in classes 7, 8 and 9. We'll first start with class 7. Okay? They should be able to read similar themes with comprehension. Okay? Any theme that they're familiar with. Imagine they have a particular lesson which is based on Tenzing and Hilary's climb on Mount Everest. They should be able to read similar adventure stories and they should be able to comprehend it. Okay, comprehend it as in answer questions based on factual points in the lesson. They should be able to understand vocabulary contextually. Okay, and they should be able to do simple activities like completing the sentences, arranging the events in a logical order, these things. Now we introduce them to grammar. We introduce them to the English sentence structure. Okay, that is, we also will make them understand how unique English sentence structure is. Then we come to subject-verb agreement. As of now, we will only look at the number. Okay, a singular subject and a singular verb and a plural subject and a plural verb and the different forms of subject-verb agreement. Now we introduce them to verbs. That is the primary, okay, the helping and the full verbs. We will concentrate on those verbs only at this level. Now, a student should be given a theme which is based on the theme that they have already got in their textbook. Okay, it will be similar to that theme and the students should be able to speak on that theme. Alright, maybe not with complete accuracy in terms of grammar, alright, but we must make sure that these grammatical features are not going wrong. We need to make sure that the student speaks, whatever the student speaks, the sentences are structurally correct, the subject and verb agree in terms of numbers, and the verb is also correct. That means the use of the primary verb, the helping verb, and of course the full verb is accurate. So that will be our focus area when they speak about a theme. Now let's move on to grade 8. Here again, the student will be able to listen and read. Okay, read things with comprehension, but here we'll slowly bring in independent themes. That is, themes that may not be necessarily connected to what they have read. It could be even something as simple as a newspaper report. Okay, or it could be an article from a magazine, right, which does not have anything to do with what they have read in their textbook. That means we're getting them to take interest in unfamiliar themes. Now in grammatical structure, we introduce them to verbs and tenses. Okay, the focus will be on tenses, when to use present tense, when to use past tense, when to use future tense, and how to blend the three. Okay, because whenever we speak, for people who are fluent speakers of English, we blend in the tenses very comfortably. But for a person who's acquired the language and at this level, where the person has just about developed some kind of a familiarity with the language, okay, they will find it difficult to move from one tense to another. Then we introduce them to adverbs, adjectives, prepositions and articles. Right? Help them to look at this. Right? Now we give them an independent theme and get them to speak about that theme or do a presentation on the theme. When they do this presentation on the theme, our focus will be on what they have covered here: sentence structure, subject-verb agreement, verbs, okay, and of course the tense arrangement, alright, and appropriate use of adverbs and adjectives. We've got to make them understand that these words always enhance or make your presentation much better, right? Now in grade 9, alright, grade 9, the student again should be able to listen and read. Alright, themes with good comprehension, with proper comprehension, and now we introduce them to active and passive voice. We will also take them to situations where an active voice is a preferred mode of communication, or whether a passive mode is a preferred mode of communication. We'll also introduce them to direct and indirect speech. Okay? After this can be introduced to them in the best way as to getting them to recall what was spoken to them by somebody. It could be something as, as daily event as the principal's speech every day in the morning, or the principal's speech on Independence Day. Correct? So we get them to practice indirect speech like that. They should be able to report a thing that has happened to you with objectivity. You have to teach the students the difference between subjective and objective, and how important it is to be objective in your communication. Objective communication means a communication which is completely free of emotion. And a subjective communication becomes that communication where you express your opinion. So both kind of reporting has to be taught to them. Alright, because there are situations where they need to express their opinion on something that has happened. So they should be encouraged to do that. So here we are going to look at reports with both objectivity and subjectivity. And of course the language structures that's going to be involved in that. That is essentially passive, active and reported speech formats. Right? And once they reach this particular level, they should be able to read a newspaper report and give you an analysis. They should be able to read an article given in a magazine and give an analysis. We don't have to pick up, heavy articles like anything that involves contradictory or, controversial things like politics or religion. But definitely we can focus on people who have done heroic deeds, because all along, even through all these levels, through 7, 8 and 9, our aim is to develop the student's personality too. Communication is not just about speaking proper language. It is also about expressing a good and a sound value system. So, all throughout, right from class grade 1 and till grade 9, our focus will always be on character building also. So that students develop proper values, they learn to express themselves with clarity, and they are able to communicate in a manner that people look forward to listen to them and to communicate with them. I have not kept aside a special section for grade 10, because grade 10, whatever is going to be designed for the student will be based on their board curriculum. Of course, a lot of setups have done away with board examinations, but then they still have a certain format, a certain skill that they expect, or there is a certain learning outcome that is expected at that age, at that stage. In class 10, the training will be completely focusing on those learning outcomes. Even here, in grade 7, 8, 9, or even in grade 1, okay, we will focus on what is the board suggestion of the learning outcome at each stage and create content accordingly. However, these are the general skills that we are going to concentrate on. Right? Thank you.